how's it going? It's Sean Bradshaw from cyberfret.com, and in this lesson I'm going to show you kind of a cool little blues in E, kind of a riff blues, where it just keeps kind of repeating the same riff throughout the song. So I kind of played through the whole thing for you. Now let's break down the different parts. All right, so here is the main riff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by taking my first and second fingers, and I'm going to be sliding up to where my first finger is going to be on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and my second finger is going to be on the 3rd fret. And I slide up from really just 1 fret below. You could do 2 frets below. The idea is just that we hear all of that as one rhythm. Then I'm going to take my first finger and bar across the 2nd and 3rd strings at the 2nd fret, play those 2 strings together, and then I'm going to do a pull off where I'm pulling off to both the 2nd and the 3rd strings open. Then 2nd fret on the 4th string, pulling off to the open, and then coming back to that 2nd fret on the 4th string. So that is the riff of this riff blues. All right. And then what I do is a little jab on the 1st and 2nd strings. And I try to cut it short. I don't want to hear this. And then continue on with the bass notes. It's kind of a little jab as much as possible. And I do that just by, once I play it, I just bring my left hand fingers right about here, right back down on the string. So, and then I have a few bass notes leading into doing that riff again. So I have open 6th string, going to the 3rd fret on the 6th string, and with that one I'm just going to kind of do what's called a smear. I'm bending it down, or bending it up a little bit, physically bending towards the floor, but the pitch is going up. Like that. Open 5th string, and back to the open 6th string. So, doing that riff again. Again, we kind of start off the same. But now what I'm doing in the 2nd line is I'm going to the A part, or over in kind of A7 sound. And I'm playing the 5th string open. And my little jab is going to be on where I'm barring my first finger across the 2nd fret of the 2nd and 3rd strings. And really, this is an A chord, so you can really just do a basic A chord where you're barring across the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings like this, even though in the arrangement you see I never do play the 4th string, but I'm still a lot of times playing the full chord. That way if I accidentally hit a string, I'm going to get a note that sounds good, or one that sympathetically vibrates that chord. So, and then we do kind of a similar bass in the next part, going. So that was exactly the same as what we did for the E7 chord, just on the 5th and the 4th strings. So here's that riff going into the A7 part. So from the end of the 1st line of the music to the 1st part of the 2nd. Right. Then we're going back to the E7 part. Right. Then we're doing our riff again, but then we're going to have a little different part where we lead into a B7 chord that happens in the 3rd line of the blues. So we go our riff, and then the last 2 eighth notes of that last measure of the 2nd line are a little walk up, open 5th, 1st fret, and then to the 2nd fret on the 5th string, which is a B, and then I get down this kind of mini B7 chord, which is my 2nd finger stays on that 2nd fret of the 5th string, 1st finger is on the 1st fret of the 4th string, and 3rd finger is on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. So I have a and then I'm going to an A7 chord, which is I'm going to take my 1st finger bar across the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings at the 2nd fret, and my 3rd finger is going to play the 3rd fret of the 1st string. So that little walk up to the B7, going to the A7. And the rest is everything that we've done so far. We have our riff. And at that point, you could repeat back up to the top and do it all again. When I played it at the beginning of this lesson, I just played it once and I kind of just ended right there. So, you know, the thing about this is that it kind of sounds good all by itself. You don't need any vocals. You're kind of playing kind of riff and an accompaniment all in one. All right, now I'm going to play the whole thing again, just a little bit slower. All right, so have fun with your little riff blues in E.